I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back to talk about these Valentine's Day hoops. I got Michigan State, Penn State tonight. A big game for both teams in terms of bubbles and brackets and things like that. And then not so big games in terms of brackets and everything like that, but just a huge SEC game in South Carolina versus Auburn. Two huge games. Before I get to them, I'd like to ask that you leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel. It helps the network. Excuse me. It helps us. It helps my channel CTC by way of the Refuse to Lose network. It helps BWT Baseball with Teddy. We went live. Like I said, we went live yesterday. It helps the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave, who went live yesterday. Did not go live today. It helps FFC, which stay tuned. I don't know when the next episode will come, but it should be coming soon. You got Dave's Doghouse, featuring Dave, where he makes dogs and put dogs in a doghouse. We got Kings Talk with Joe Jordan, who's supposed to be going live later. A bunch of Kings content, games, how he feels about the game, how he felt. He talked about how he felt about the All-Star snubs. Well, he felt that they were All-Star snubs. He talks about how he's feeling about the season. Just Kings content. We have Real Ballers Only featuring Vaughn, who goes live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Did not go live today, but he talks about a bunch of things. I'm pretty sure he's going to talk about maybe the Rising Stars game or something like that. He likes to talk about players as diamond in the rough, so guys that's not typically talked about. And then you have, last but certainly not least, in the red corner featuring Ty Ricky and Fast Camp boxing every other Sunday. So be on the lookout for them this Sunday. But like I said, man, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the network. It helps the channel. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, before I talk about these games, let's talk about yesterday in college basketball. So yesterday, we had 3 upsets. We had a number 25 seed lose, was not an upset because they lost to 12th ranked Baylor. But our first upset we had was Syracuse beating North Carolina in Syracuse. Another Tuesday night loss for North Carolina. They are sure to drop in the polls again. But another upset makes it not so bad. Virginia loses at home for the first time this season against Pitt. Could have took advantage if they'd beat Pitt to tie for the ACC. Now still in the same position because they both lost. Duke is right there with the win against Wake Forest. North Carolina, has a tie over Duke. So North Carolina still a half a game above Duke, but now it's a logjam for that number 1 spot. And our last upset of yesterday was Indiana State. They lose to Illinois State by 13 at home. Indiana State gets ranked for the first time in quite some time and blow it the first game. Indiana State, man, I was talking highly about them all year, and then they take a disappointing loss. For sure going to drop out the top 25. And bad days for those teams, but if Washington State wins their games this week, great news for them. That was the team I thought that should have been ranked. I thought that was the team that got left out. And now you have 4 of the top 25 teams lose. You have Virginia 21. No, not 4. You have 3 to 25. Excuse me. You have Virginia 21, Indiana State 23, and Oklahoma 25, all taking L. Leaves the door wide open if you can do your job to get ranked. Wisconsin, not really upset. They beat Ohio State to snap a 4-game losing streak. They beat Ohio State at home. Speaking of Ohio State, Chris Holtmann is out as head coach. I think a lot to do with it is that Big Ten road losing streak. I think it's now at 13, 14 games they haven't on the road they've lost in a row. So Chris Holtmann has been shown the door. Interested to see who they would replace him with coming up. Let's see. New Mexico wins a barn burner against Nevada. Jamal Mashburn, 2 huge threes. Jamal Mashburn Jr., 2 big threes at the end of the game to propel New Mexico over Nevada. And Nevada it keeps pace with Utah State and San Diego State, who also won against Colorado State last night. And a enormous second half by San Diego State. Colorado State had a hot first half. San Diego State defensive intensity turned up to another level. Believe only gave up 11 points in the second half. Let me double check that. But just amazing defense in the second half. San Diego State proves once again why it's so hard to win in that building. But New Mexico, man, dominated for most of the night. Nevada, Keenan Blackshear, Jerry Lucas mounted a roaring comeback. Nick Davison hit a couple buckets. But then Mustafa Amzil hits a huge 3 with Nevada up 2 to go back up 1. Back and forth. Jamal Mashburn, like I said, hits a huge 3. Keenan Blackshear at the he gets a decent turnaround with maybe 7 seconds left. Bricks it off the back rim. Ball gets tipped back to Blackshear, but it was kind of like a lot of time in the, with the whole offensive rebound getting tipped, and he didn't get the second shot off. Even if he did, it was an air ball. So like I said, New Mexico, not New Mexico State, ends up winning that one. Yeah, Colorado State scored 11 points in the entire second half. 44 in the first half, or 11 in the second half. San Diego State scores 30 in the first half, 41 in the second half. So just a roaring comeback. Jaden Ledee with 27. Darion Trammell hit a couple key buckets. Lamont Butler went to the free throw line, had a couple key buckets. BYU almost, not BYU. UCF almost comes back, but BYU was able to hold off the comeback and win. Drake wins at the buzzer, half-court shot to win the game there against Evansville. Providence is able to get a big win against St. John's at home. Dayton, blowout win. Iowa State, like I said, I don't understand that line, how they were underdogs against Cincinnati. Like I said, man, Iowa State defense travels, and they for sure hold Cincinnati to 59 as they beat Cincinnati 68-59, and Marquette is able to get a huge road win at Butler 78-72. Nice back and forth game there. Marquette, Tyler Kolek, just a phenomenal game. 27 and 5 assists. Just an amazing game for Tyler Kolek. He had 7 rebounds to go with that. Also, Iguodala with 17 and 10, another good game by him. I feel like at times they did a really good job on Oso, but I think Oso's second half was just phenomenal. First half, they did a really good job on Oso. Second half, man, Oso got going, and it was tough to stop. Pierre Brooks had a pretty good game, 15.6 boards. Jalen Thomas hit a couple buckets late, 11-7, but it wasn't enough. I got to talk about him. Bizjack off the bench with 19, hit a couple big threes late in the game, just was not enough. He actually closed the game. I seen him close the game over Posh Alexander because he was playing so well, shooting the ball so well, creating offense, but just was not enough. But, yeah, that's yesterday in college basketball. We move on to the reason why you would be here. We got Valentine's Day hoops, and we got a Valentine's Day massacre, hopefully, with MSU at Penn State. Michigan State comes in as 3.5-point road dogs. They won the last game this season and the MSU at the Breslin Center by 31. I think it was 92-61. Michigan State, as y'all know, is led by Tyson Walker, 19 points per game and 3 assists per game. AJ Hogard, 11.7 points per game and 5.2 assists per game. And Malik Hall, 11.8 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, coming off that big late game flurry to propel us over Illinois. The X factor, in my opinion, in this game would be Jaden Akins. I think Jaden Akins has to score with these guards that Penn State has. And he has to play well on the perimeter defensively. I think he needs a slash. I think he needs to attack the basket. Him along with AJ, I think they need to attack the basket, and they need to help rebound. Michigan State is now currently 15-9 with a 7-6 Big Ten record, and they won 3 of their last 5. Now, Penn State led by Ace Baldwin. Ace Baldwin been coming up huge lately for Penn State. 14.1 points per game, 5.4 assists per game, and 2.8 steals per game. That is phenomenal. 2.8 steals per game is phenomenal. Kanye Cleary with 17.1 points per game, and Qudus Wahab, 9.4 points per game and 7.8 rebounds per game. Now, in my opinion, for Penn State, the X factor would be Zach Hicks. Zach Hicks has been shooting the ball well lately with last 3 games of like from current to like third. It's been 14, 14, and 19 points. So he's been on a roll lately. Penn State is 4-3 at home in the Big Ten and in Big Ten play. But they had their 3-game winning streak, ended by Northwestern on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Lost to Northwestern at home. But Northwestern is a pretty good basketball team. But yeah, Zach Hicks, he needs to shoot the ball well from the perimeter. He needs to add that extra scoring to go along with Kanye, Clarion, and Ace Baldwin. So that would be my X factor against MSU, how well Zach Hicks plays on the perimeter. But I'm going to go with MSU to win the game. I think MSU is just all around a better team than Penn State. Got from guard play to big man. Malik Hall is a better big. I understand we got Sissoko and Carson Cooper, but I think we throw those guys at Wahab. I think we'll do a pretty good job with him. Penn State, like I said, they do have buckets on the perimeter. They really do. But I think Trey Holloman would be good defensively. Tyson Walker on ball would be good defensively. I think even AJ and Jaden would be really good on ball defensively. I really don't see them having too much for Malik Hall today. I expect Malik Hall to have a really good game as well. So I'll take MSU in this one against Penn State. Now, for the huge SEC matchup, 11th ranked South Carolina at 13th ranked Auburn. Auburn, man, undefeated at the crib. But South Carolina is led by Michi Johnson, 14.1 points per game and 4.2 rebounds per game. BJ Mack, 13.6 points per game and 5.1 rebounds per game. And Talon Cooper, 10.2 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, and 4.4 assists per game. Now, the X factor I have for South Carolina University today, by the way, you can catch this game at 8:30 on SEC Network. You can catch Penn State, Michigan State, 6:30 on the Big Ten Network. But the X factor I have for South Carolina today is Colin Murray-Broyles. Colin Murray-Broyles has been phenomenal of lately. His last 2 games go 31 points, 7 boards versus Vanderbilt, and 16 points, 9 boards versus Ole Miss, both in wins. Colin Murray-Broyles seems like he's found his footing with the South Carolina team. He is so active. Like, he is super active. He's active around the rim. He's active in the offense. He's just an active big fella. A forward, but, still a big fella. But he's just – and I love it. He has a motor. His motor is crazy. I just love the way Colin Murray-Broyles has been playing of late. You probably seen the highlight when he blocked Sharp's dunk, the 7'5" center for Ole Miss. Blocked this dunk, huge play at the time. It was only like a 3-point game at the time, late in the game. Real momentum builder play. So that's my X factor for South Carolina. Now, South Carolina is now 21-3 with a 9-2 SEC record, which is tied for first place with Alabama. Alabama has the lead because they have the win, so they are half a game above South Carolina. But South Carolina is also currently on a 7-game win streak. Now, Auburn is led by Johnny Broome, 16 points per game and 8.6 rebounds per game. Jalen Williams with 13 points per game and 5 rebounds per game. And I put Hayden Holloway. Some people might disagree. Freshman averaging 8.4 points per game. Now, for Auburn, my X factor for them is KD Johnson off the bench because South Carolina is so good defensively. It's going to be – I think South Carolina can, slow up this Auburn offense. KD Johnson, in my opinion, is really going to have to create his own shot. He's going to have to create some offense. He's going to have to score in bunches off the bench. That's why they have him on the bench, to be that guy to do so. So I think he's going to really have to take advantage of some opportunities. He's going to have to probably break down some defense late in the shot clock and create a shot. against this, like I said, a really good South Carolina defense. So I think he's going to be the X factor for Auburn. Auburn is now 19-5 with an 8-3 SEC record, so even more on the line because if Auburn wins, they tie it with South Carolina, both being at 9-3. Auburn were on the tiebreaker, being that this is the only matchup of the year for South Carolina and Auburn. Auburn, like I said, is undefeated, 12-0 in the at the crib at Auburn. But that being said, I have to pick a team to win this game. And as you can see on the ticker, Auburn is favored by 11.5 at home. Auburn is 12-0 at home. Throw all of it out. I'm going with South Carolina. We've been riding a huge win streak, beating Kentucky, beating Tennessee, beating Ole Miss, who's a really good ball club. I know beating Vandy wasn't, oh my God, but we blew Vandy out. And not to mention, Vandy just beat Texas A&M last night. Another thing that happened in college basketball yesterday. So you got to give them credit for the win. They beat Mississippi State. They beat Arkansas. We're beating guys. Now, Arkansas is on the lower end of the SEC, which shockingly to me with Eric Musselman, the head coach. But still, nonetheless, we're getting the job done. I believe Lamont Paris will have this team ready to go. I know that Auburn wants to get out in transition and run a lot, which we can too. But we like to we like to play defense, and I think our defense will be good enough to stop Auburn from getting into things they like to get into. So I'm gonna roll with South Carolina to win straight up tonight. At Auburn, throw the points out. Let's go South Carolina. Now that is all I have for y'all today. The past 2 Saturdays, y'all have had me go. Y'all have seen me go game day style around 10:30 in the mornings, going over games, and then right after game day style CTC, right into college basketball. Unfortunately, I got to work Saturday. I'm back at work, so I can't do the game day style thing anymore. But I will be back Friday. Not giving the time yet. I don't have a time, but I will be back. I just know I will be back Friday to go over the games for Saturday. Now, unfortunately, I don't think the lines will be out. If they're out, I'll have them down on the ticker as always. But if they're not, then I won't have them at the ticker, obviously, because I won't know what the lines are. I wish I could give y'all an early jump, but I can't. By the way, just made a CTC Twitter page. You can follow me on, matter of fact, let me write it up right here. You can follow me on Twitter at Carl Talking NCAA. And the reason why it's not Carl Talking College, it is too many characters. So that's not going to work. But so Carl Talking NCAA, because I talk basketball and I talk football. So I was like, AK, NCAA, National Collegiate Athletics Association. Talk college basketball and college football anyway, so might as well just lump them together. So please follow me at Carl Talking NCAA. That's why I'll be talking about things that's going on in college, big wins, big upsets, probably giving predictions of championship week. So meaning predictions of who I got winning the SEC tournament, the ACC tournament, the Big Sky tournament, the WAC tournament, WCC tournament, and so on and so forth. Be giving things like that over there. I may or may not talk about my records. Like, you know how I give my predictions, what I win. Like yesterday, I went 4-1. My only loss being Butler against Marquette. Everything else I predicted right. Iowa State on the road as a win, as a dog. Baylor at home versus Oklahoma as a win. San Diego State at home versus Colorado State, home as a win. And New Mexico as dogs on the road to Nevada as a win. So I may or may not keep track of a record there. I probably won't, but just look out for the Twitter. I mean, not look out for the Twitter. Please follow the Twitter and just, look out for the updates. But yeah, man, that's it. That's all I got for y'all. I will see y'all Friday again. I would announce on my Twitter page when I go live Friday. So until then, peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button, no matter what you're listening to or watching it. hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.